Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a short one. I just wanted to show you one of the challenges we have on the farm when it comes to wildlife. It's not a big issue, it can do a lot of damage, and that is, if you can see down there, we're going to walk down there, but there is a flock of swans and grey goose, I believe it is, that is walking around on the field. And birds in general is not really a problem, but when it comes to swans, Canada goose, grey goose, and one of the larger types of birds, they do a lot of damage, and I think a lot of you dairy farmers or crop farmers in general can relate to that. The problem is that they are basically stomping around on the grass, and the bird droppings that they leave behind are so concentrated in nutrient that they actually fry the grass, so to say. That means it becomes yellow and it basically dies. And when you have flocks like this, they can do a lot of damage. We had a problem yesterday, so we went down and tried to scare them off. So basically I'm operating as a live scarecrow. There is for grey goose and Canada goose especially, there's a hunting season for them that lasts until 23rd of December, but when we have swans there, it's kind of not an option to go down and start shooting. And I do hunt grey goose, but at the moment it's kind of challenging to get close enough. When you see in the landscape here, it's pretty flat and open. There's no really cover to hide behind, and so shooting with shotgun is not an option, and rifle, it's you still have to get pretty close using a rifle as well. What I'm going to do is just walk down and just scare them off, and we can see a little bit of the problems they leave behind on the fields. It's a beautiful day, by the way, but you can probably hear by my voice that I've caught a cold. Over at the tiny hill there, there's a flock of deers. Deers, they don't do much damage. They have a tendency just to stay out in the taller grass, and they just run over here into another forest that is close by, and they don't tend to stay out in the open field, so they don't really pose a problem. Birds do, and not every bird is a problem. Like you can have ducks and pigeons and the smaller sized birds, they're not a problem. When you get that size of a swan, that's when it really becomes a problem. Hopefully it will just fly off now. With the goose, they migrate. So, but the problem with the climate change and everything, we don't really know if these geese are about to leave or if they are actually coming back. So this area here is kind of like the last station they have before they go to Canada for the grey goose, and we are the first one that actually see them coming back. Before it was kind of fixed. You could have, during the autumn time, you would see the flock of grey goose coming from the eastern part of Norway, and they were going to migrate over to Canada. But now it's kind of they migrate all year through. So it's I don't know if they're actually coming back or if they're leaving. So things have changed. And the thing is, it would be okay if they kind of spread out. If you had kind of one bird there and one bird there, but they go together. As you can see here, you have swans and the grey goose, and they pack together, and there's a little water pond over there where they kind of just hang around. So if any of you have similar problems like this and you have found a really good solution, please put that down in the comment section, because putting up a scarecrow on the field won't work on these birds. And we could have a dog running around, but I don't really like that, because you still need to have the dog in a leash. I can see it flying off. If they only stayed at the neighbor's side, that would be fine, because that's just barley that has been harvested, and there's no grass put in it. So it would be fine if they just stay there and were eating barley that is on the ground. But for some reason they really like this grass, and actually if I had a gun now, it would be on a close range. you would expect them to kind of like learn that you come down and you chase them off and they don't come back. But you know, to me, especially with the swans, because they are stationary, they don't move, so they will stay here throughout the winter. And the thing with the swans are in the city, they can be a little bit aggressive, especially during the spring when they have ducklings. But these ones are kind of not the city bird, so to say, so they fly off once you get close. But you can see the grey goose, they are the first one, and then you have the swans over there that are like evaluating whether they should fly. And the swans, they don't really have any natural predators, so they, you know, they just don't care. And they are the last one to fly off. It's kind of pretty sight. You know, I like the birds, don't get me wrong, but they do a lot of damage. So you can see it's actually easier to see when there's no like frost on the ground, but you kind of see the walking path here they're doing, and when they get to stomp up and down the field throughout the day, it really damages the grass. And the thing is, if I can find the dropping, here it is. You see, this is bird dropping, and it kind of like, you guys who have dogs can probably relate to this. The dropping from a swan is not like from a pigeon. Now you get this white splash. It's actually a solid chunk of shit, so to say. And this poses a problem, because when you have these all over the fields, it kills the grass. And when we do cut the lawn, you will get a hole. You will get a hole in the lawn with a big circle area where it's just completely fried off. It becomes yellow and it dies. And you will have that all over the field. And when you cut it, it poses a big problem. So here you have another one. It's probably easy to see here because it's frozen. And you have the same here. And again, the same here. So when you get this all over the field, or in a very dense area like you have here, that's when it becomes a big problem. And there's another big one. So I'm sorry about that, like walking around on the field showing you your bird droppings, but you know, this is significant. This is my boot, and you can see the size here. It's quite significant. So yeah, so if any of you really have a good solution, here's a Canada goose right there. So it's mainly grey goose, Canada goose, and the swan that are a problem here. So if you have any like useful tips of how to deal with that, I guess some of you dairy farmers that have grass, use that for silage, have the same issue. So put that down in the comment section, and hopefully we can solve this together. So this is going to be it for this video. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.